Hello, everyone. Look at that. We're back. Another week. SLOLCS. We are here. We have done it. I'm the producer. I'm Mustard. I will be casting today. I know, crazy. I have Gusto with me on the desk. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello, Mustard. It's very nice to see the production come out to play, even if it is an image and a voice. It is always appreciated to have you here at the commentary table here for Low LCS.
We have a solid matchup today. All the teams have names now. Uh,
Yeah.
Chug Jug Kitty Burger time going against LeBron James lovers. So
Oh
interesting
boy.
matchup. LeBron James lovers, most famous for last weekend, I believe it was last Saturday, where the first match of the opening weekend, where three people died to Baron.
Yeah,
Believe
it
we
was it was an infamous occasion. Happened first stream of the year, and we are excited to see them bounce back from this point, taking any kind of precautions they can with their team choices, their matchups in the bot lane, and potentially seeing if their team is going to be more committed to going after those objectives, considering that
Oh,
that's what I've
whoops.
been saying with me and Quan. Just going after those objectives is going to be very important throughout this season.
Yeah, so we'll, we'll see if they're able to pull it off and continue that trend going as I how did last week go? Let's start talking about that a little bit, shall
Sure,
we?
sure. So with last week we had our always lovely power rankings coming in from Ghoul Freak, assigned and collected thanks to Rhino. And we were just I was looking at them earlier today and just sort of getting a bit of a feel for how some of these teams were. I did not get to see all of the games play out, but you did hear my voice and see my face for some of those games. And from what I can recall and from what I'm looking at, it seems like Chug Jug Kitty is certainly towards the top end right now in terms of favorability for this matchup, but that does not mean LeBron James lovers are out, considering that this is only week 2. So I'm expecting to see some interesting plays and potentially a more balanced tug of war this time around. Like, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think the fun thing about SLOLCS is like the long. It's just really all about the more time you spend together, the more your team is able to gel, and the more you're able to actually make happen. So that's kind of the exciting, really just why I think like at the games only get better. Like people aren't getting fatigued. People are getting chemistry. They're getting synergy,
Mm-hmm.
and last week, hey man, LeBron James lovers, they had a lot to learn from that. From that,
Uh,
certainly a play of all time.
it was a play. It was a play of all time, and I must say, thank you for calling out the fact, Rhino, that their MVP was the Baron. Oh, it was a good time.
Yeah,
Clear winner.
we want to give the smidgen of time. Here we go. Hopefully this works properly. Do this. You can now
Ooh.
see the power rankings. These
Ooh.
are text is a little hard to read. I mean, it's not super, it's not formatted amazingly for vision, but
Ah, it's fine.
the Goal Freak power rankings in question, there were some teams there was one team that had a bye. We have 11 team tournament. So you see Chug up there. This is their second I believe this they did have a bye, and so did the conglomerate of Mewing, who we will actually see in the next match on broadcast. But I believe both those teams had a bye last week, so you see they both won one game instead of two, like everyone else. So
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting time to see what kind of strategies are going to be implemented, who's going to be acquiring those tier 3 boots, who's going to be taking on those Otacons and those key Dragon Soul plays. I'm very interested in seeing if we're going to be getting any kind of unbelievable drafts or anything potentially off meta. I know that I'm a big fan of off meta and all sorts of weird possibilities for these team compositions, but balance is also pretty good. Want to cover all those bases with tankiness, AD, AP, and just somebody who could potentially backdoor.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, I think the power rankings are just pretty funny to look at. Fun banter. It
Yeah.
provides fun banter. And hey, L MVP Baron right there.
Yep.
The incident.
The incident. But I mean, they do have a 1-to-1, so they're not completely out of this when it comes to making up for lost time.
Oh yeah, I think they. It's still early in the season. There's still a lot that a lot they can work on, and hopefully they'll be able to scrap things together. Um,
Hmm. But this time, gonna be kind of looking through, seeing if there's any, trying to look for how some of these matchups were with some of these teams, what they were using, but oh goodness gracious. Sure, as what? Trying to recall who was playing what last few games.
they were certainly playing characters.
Yes, thank you. They were indeed playing some characters. Uh, uh okay, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'm going on a weird downward spiral. It's okay. What we are going to be focusing on is, are there any potential champions you would like to see? Maybe any potential bans that are going to maybe be important for some of their key players, Mustard?
Ooh, I don't know. I think I need to pull up the rosters. I don't have everyone memorized just yet.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh. Oh. Um. Well, they were setting up the game, and there was a little bit of there was some interesting banter. I don't know what's
Hmm.
happening in the lobby.
Good.
So
Goodness gracious. I guess
I
I'll
guess we
try and
get to
fill in.
yeah, I
Yeah,
guess we get to stall a little bit
yeah. Let's
longer.
let's 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 fill this
uh,
white. Let's fill this with a little bit of white noise, eh?
yeah, so
Nothing to worry
looks
about.
like
Looking at the rosters now for Chug Jug, Kitty, Burger Time, and LeBron James lovers. Looking at just some potential key players that I at least remember: Engfield, Haraka, and Teggy Weggy. Certainly going to be interesting to see what kind of plays they're going to be able to pull off. I know that LeBron's James lovers had matchup and Arch Tempered as ways of counterbalancing. I know Arch Tempered was the very insightful Renekton in that infamous play, and hopefully they'll be able to swing it back this time. But I am excited to see if we're gonna have any sort of swing characters, any infinitely stacking ones. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens.
yeah. They've resolved the banter. They've resolved their
Okay.
issues in the match chat, so we're gonna get to see their draft. We're gonna go into game pretty soon.
Okay.
But all things considered, I mean, it's I really don't know. I think you definitely want to watch out for like like Arch Tempered or like someone like Haraka, just players that we've seen a long time in SLOLCS. They they've established their status, and I mean I think the bot lane is the lane to look for
Mm-hmm.
this match. I mean, you have Haraka and Tekiwegi going up against matchup, and uh, it's supposed to be Aerokun. Unfortunately, he is not available for this match, so
Oh,
it will be I
dang.
believe it will be Calkin subbing in for him.
Ooh, get to
So,
see more Kaken.
oh
Certainly
yeah,
not against that. I enjoy seeing her plays and what she is capable of, especially when it comes to the support role. But like you said, Matchup and Haraka have both played with and against each other. So it's going to be interesting to see where they align with what is gonna be banned.
As
Uh, First impressions?
here's whoops. As here we go. We get to see the we can look at the draft. What do you think?
Oh boy, looking at this already, I'm seeing quite a bit of bulk on the side of Team Chug, especially when considering that Skarner, Tom Kench, and Urgot are all characters who can massively utilize Heartsteel, combined with the potential just Vayne blitzing through and Malzahar just acting as that strong AP champ. It's going to be very interesting to see how they contend, but I am still a big fan of the Nautilus support, and the Fiora could
Ah,
act as a interesting
I've
counterbalance.
received higher level intelligence that is a Nautilus mid. So
Oh,
this
even
will be
better.
interesting. This will
Oh,
be an interesting game.
oh, good. I do love me some Nautilus mid, especially if we build into AP Nautilus mid. You can just potentially do some devastation with things like Lich Bane or Cosmic Drive.
I think the problem that LeBron James lovers are going to run into, they don't really have any solid tank busting character.
Mm-mm.
Um, for the most part, it's just like, what do you do? Like, you have
Yeah.
Corki, I guess. Fiora does true damage, I guess. But everyone else kind of a little bit lacking. Like, yeah,
Right.
suppose you could build like a Leandries on a Moo or like a Blackfire Torch, or like same thing for Vex. But I feel like they're just Chug-Chug's gonna be too tanky. Like Skarner, Urgot, Tom Kench. That's 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 a lot of health bars.
A lot of health bars, it's a lot of CC, also considering the fact that Chug, as every single character on their team, has some kind of pretty reliable or decent CC versus LeBron James lovers, which, not to say that Amumu or Nautilus hooks aren't capable of accomplishing all sorts of CC as well as their ults, but it's going to be a rough time for them to pin down any one character outside of maybe the Mals and the Vayne.
Yeah, it's not gonna be easy.
No.
Welcome back. You see your cameras again. We're loading in a game
Yeah.
pretty soon.
Uh,
We're getting that situated. It takes a little bit of time to boot up the
no.
whole League of Legends. You know how it goes.
Yeah, I'm not keen on flashbanging everybody, so I'm just gonna leave this lighting as it is. But I'm excited to see what they've got. I saw a few of the bands, quite a few tankier champions. I saw the Cassante, Ornn, Mordekaiser, seeing some interesting picks on both sides, and I'm just curious to see where some players are going to be going, because as much as I love seeing off-meta choices like the Nautilus mid, that may or may not come back to bite them if they're not able to commit or snowball to get those stronger key items.
Yeah, so we're we're almost there, chat.
We're almost there. We believe. And also, don't forget, start of every match, remember those channel points. Haven't put that up quite yet, but we will get there. And I'm excited to see if I can keep up my 2-game win streak with me and Quan. I was able to properly predict which teams were able to win. So perhaps we'll see if I'm able to pull off my magic again.
Yeah, there it is. You see it now. Actually, predictions
Mm-hmm.
are live. Would like to put your would like to gamba, put your points on the line. There you go. Now is your chance. Especially given that we are about to go in my League of Legends goodbye. It's a very scuffed broadcast, but that's the best type of broadcast, if you ask.
True. Very true. It's a sign of true production love.
No, there's no such thing as a normal broadcasting world. As we get into the game, here we go. Oh
Okay.
yeah, League of Legends.
A League of Legends. Seeing these final positions, it is going to be fairly clear cut for Chug Jug, though I am seeing the Haraka and Handmaid swapped, so I'm assuming the order of operations was switched up on their and from their perspective, but we are seeing pretty clear-cut choices outside of the mid lane and support from Kakin and Bunt. So it's gonna be an interesting time.
Yeah.
I think it's Bunt with
I
the X.
think they want to. It's Bandit.
Bandit, excuse me.
I think they're looking for a late invade. Do they know?
Not sure. They are observing. They managed to go in. Bandit not getting off the hook, managing to land that Fear of the Fleet. Teggy Weggy just getting mulched immediately. 4v2, leaving away, unfortunately, Haraka doing the walk of shame.
I think that's the proactiveness you're gonna need if you are LeBron James lovers, because I mean, again, you can't let these tanks get ahead, because the moment they get their items, they get their heart steal stack, they go clang and it's over. Like you're not gonna be able to kill them. So you need any amount of gold you can get. It goes on the Amumu. I'm not a big fan of that. I mean, ideally it goes on one of your carry champions. Probably gonna be the Corki in that situation, but you know, Amumu, not the worst, because once you're, I mean, if you're able to get that jungler ahead, you know, makes it a lot easier for you to snowball the lead, just bring that around the map. So it's not all for naught, you know.
Very true, very true. Interesting to see that Kakin just getting whittled down, hit with the ignite. Tegiwegi managing to almost land that lick, and Haraka flashes in to get the last shot off. Matchup not being able to finish off Haraka and getting pressured by Tegiwegi. Haraka barreling in, going in for that, getting that stun off from Tegiwegi under tower, and getting that second kill for the side of Chug.
Man, it is not a great look. I mean, it started good. The first minute or two, awesome. After that, horrible.
Yeah, it was not great.
Vex does not have a support item. Kakin does not have World Atlas. This is not good. Not good. Does she know?
I fear that she may have gone recommended items and accidentally swapped over to the Doran's Ring. Not saying that Doran's Ring is bad, but if you're a support, you're not going to be getting that gold that you're looking for, especially with Vex, a character who, in this situation, is really going to be needing her tank busting items sooner rather than later if she wants to make an impact.
Yeah, speaking of impact, Arch Temper making a big impact on the fast donuts. Again, that's just kind of the power of Fiora. You know, you land your shots, and you just do true damage. It's like, it's strong against tanks because you do have the percentage health true damage, but I really don't know how much it's gonna do in the long run against 3 tanks.
Not really sure. Seeing not really anything too unorthodox from both sides when it comes to some spells or any choices for items outside, of course, the Kakin misplay of not having it in the support item. But wait a minute, we are seeing Tegiwegi going in, getting the triple stack on Kakin. Could they be able to get the stun off? And Haraka landing that secondary hit, getting another feat of war, and seeing Handmaid finish off Bandit under tower, hitting that arcane comet to finish off this mid lane Nautilus.
Things are not looking good for LeBron James lovers. Tegiwegi's going in yet again, forces the flash out of matchup. And yeah, that's just kind of the proactiveness you have on the Tom Cantree. You're tanky, you walk up, you use your W, you come out from underground, you land a knock up, and then like it's just over, right? It just wraps. You land a lick. Pretty rough, especially when you don't have that much mobility or any way to counter engage. Like with the Vex, Corki, like not a lot you can do counter to trade in any way, shape, or form besides just poking. And they really haven't been able to do a good job of that, as we see Vecticam take us back top lane. Oh, and back bot lane.
we are seeing Rubber Duck trying to look in for the going in, but getting slowed by Tegiwegi's lick. But Zeagle in the rafters, missing that bandage grab. Tegiwegi getting hit, but managing to knock up Rubber Duck and getting smoked out by Haraka and Zeagle. Trying to go in, getting the stone chucked at matchup. Tegiwegi trying to go in, but his just big ol' belly shield just managing to keep him alive under tower. It's just so much pressure, so fast. We're not even 6 minutes in.
It's not looking good. Like, already a 2k gold lead for Chug, and it's like 5-6 minutes in the game. This is not great.
It's a bad sign when you're already seeing the ADC already getting an 150 gold bounty and not even in 6 minutes in. No objectives, and nothing really outside of feats of war. Just seeing both sides getting whittled down, and unfortunately the shameful buyback of Kakin having to sell the Doran's Ring for the support item is just going to leave bot lane a lot slower. Hopefully they'll be able to make up for it by whittling down the tower if they can, but it just doesn't feel like LeBron James lovers are going to get back on the right foot, especially with all of this observation and vision coming in from Zeagle and Teggy Weggy.
Yeah, like I kind of alluded to it earlier, right? It's the bot lane that you're gonna want to look at, and bot lane certainly has been brawling.
Yep. Ooh.
Yeah, as we
Taking
see,
the-
see a bit
taking
of
those
poke coming
towers.
out.
Yep. Seeing the solid tower shots, seeing the Teggy Weggy is the same level as matchup. This is just a little hard pressing to get knocked up. Barrier on matchup, but getting the triple stack, and Haraka is just able to poke and finish them off. We're almost seeing a full first item before the 8-minute mark on the side of Haraka, which is just not something you want to see. And
The
it's
win button. There it is.
the greatest win button ever, but it's not enough to kill Bandit.
Yeah, General Robert gonna be continuing to move forward. I don't agree with this whatsoever, because you don't quite have the items to kill Handmaid just yet, and we're seeing that backfire. Even without the Nautilus being there, I don't think he's gonna be able to confirm that kill into the Malzahar anyways.
Ooh.
It's just not a good play all around. I mean, like, we're only 7 minutes in and we're already seeing desperation.
We are seeing desperation. The double CC coming in from Zeagle into Teggy Weggy. The drive-through coming in and getting smacked upwards from the Tom Kench. Just seeing those kills, it breaks my heart. But we are seeing the ult coming in from from Bandit, unfortunately missing. That was the one thing I mainly thought of when it comes to this matchup, is that shield just keeps Handmaid alive so long against this Nautilus.
Yeah, I don't really like, the game has spiraled fairly out of control and it's only 8 minutes in. Things are just not looking up for LeBron James lovers because, like, again, they don't have a solid tank buster on their team. So besides maybe the Fiora, who is winning the top lane so far with a 30 CS lead, the kind of silver lining on all this chaos happening on the map is that top lane has been untouched. Once again, reverting to its status as an island. Top lane just kind of doing its own thing. Arch-Temper just continued to extend his lead, and but besides that, it's like, it's really it. I don't see any other way LeBron James lovers can get back into this game unless they play around Arch-Tempered. It's the only chance that they have.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate sight to see, even with like some of these item choices and anything that you can really pull into. There isn't really a lot of tank busting possibilities, even with those item choices for any of the characters. Outside of potentially Corki and Arch-Tempered, Rubber Duck just doesn't have really any way of going in and getting that huge burst or even that whittle down onto tanks. And Bandit just lacks that conventional high damage pressure unless they go in for a full combo with all of their abilities, including their ult. It's just not the best thing you want to see for LeBron James lovers, like you're saying.
Yeah, it's not, again, not going to be an easy game for LeBron James lovers. In theory, 5 more minutes and they can FF. But not that I'm encouraging forfeits, but just as a little bit of a, you know, friendly banter, of course.
Friendly banter, of course.
General Duck looking top, gonna be inching, edging, maybe. Oh, but it doesn't matter. The bandage does not hit.
Seeing that dash away coming in from the Urgot E is just tragic, especially when he was able to dodge 2 abilities at the same time. Hopefully we'll be seeing some first item picks coming in from LeBron James lovers that alleviate some of the stress that they may be feeling. We are seeing the very first item of the full build item of the game, the Blade of the Ruined King, going to Haraka. And I'm just interested to see what kind of pressure is going to be put on to top lane, because the Rubber Duck idea, General Rubber Duck did have a good idea going in for fast donuts, but it just wasn't the right timing.
Oh, speaking of timing, Teggy Weggy just gonna walk down the jungler. Hmm.
We're
Like,
seeing.
I think that is kind of wild. The jungler is just able to get zoned out by a support.
Ooh.
I don't think there's anything they're gonna be able to do for these grubs.
Oh
Like,
no.
best case scenario, you get one and prevent feats. Worst case scenario, you get aced right now.
Oh, and Tegiwegi getting the knock up against Red Rubber Duck. The win button going on to, and from Handmade and managing to finish off General Rubber Duck. Seeing Zeagle managing to put Kagen and Arch Tempered over to them. Getting in that dash. The fear of Haraka, which is not going to be enough against that ult. Just keeping them so close in. So much CC coming in from Tegiwegi. Managing to finish off Bandit and leave this fight of a 4v4 just in shambles. With the only one managing to get away being Arch Tempered.
Handmaid did go down. There was one kill in that fight. The Nautilus did claim a shutdown onto the Malzahar. So, the silver lining, it was a 5v4 in favor of Chug. And again, LeBron James lovers, it's hard to fight like that because you are just so behind already. Like, it's like, what do you even do, right? Like, I think like they have the right idea to try to force something, maybe get a little bit, but I think the only way that you can come back in this game is just to farm and
Yeah.
farm and just try to stem the bleeding, just prevent any more damage from happening. But Arch Chamber is actually going to take things into his own hand.
Ooh, seeing the all 4 hits going on to Handmade, but it just wasn't enough. That initial hit coming off of Arch Temper, just managing to get blocked by the Speltman, by the shield. It's just a tragedy to see, and Kaken getting almost caught up by Tegiwegi, but they are just going to take Hextech Dragon, and we are going to be seeing the changing of the environment going to Mountain, which for the side of Chug is just going to be almost a preemptive nail in the coffin against LeBron James lovers with that massive amount of bulk added to them if they manage to get Mountain Soul.
Yeah, speaking of things they're managing to get, they did complete the feats. So Chug does have feet now, which is not good. They're gonna get those tier 3 boots, and
Yeah.
I think they're just gonna continue to snowball their lead. Like, all they have to do is not it. Like, just don't walk at them for free. Don't get caught out, because LeBron James lovers, like, the one thing they do have is very good kind of pick potential. They're very good at collapsing on a target. I don't think their team fight's that great compared to Chug, but if they're, Nautilus lands a hook, Bandage comes in, you get the fear from the Vex, you're probably already dead. Right. That's a lot of CC. They're very good at locking down a target, and I think that's the best way they can come back in this game, is they're able to single someone out, someone that's overextended, and get a pick.
Hopefully we'll be seeing some potential goings on. Zeagle and Fast Donuts going in on Arch Tempered, managing to block that and block the CC, but it's just not going to be enough. Getting smacked by the Heartsteel, getting whittled down. We're seeing the ult coming in from Arch Tempered, trying to whittle down Zeagle, but not even getting to half. And Tegiwegi getting called out, seeing all those Heartsteel may have been really tempting, but it's just managing to escape. It's like you said, they called out the positioning, but it's just not enough.
Yeah. They just don't have the items. They can't do the damage. Like, when the tanks get ahead like that, it's really hard to come back because you can't do enough damage to kill them ever. So it's a very uphill battle, almost like a vertical climb for LeBron James lovers.
Ooh, Kaken going in, managing to land that ult, but it's just not gonna. Man, it whittles down Haraka, yes, but it may not be enough. Seeing the ult coming in from General Rubber Duck, managing to let Arch Tempered finish them off, seeing that first. Now it is a little more even on the top lane. Hopefully we'll be seeing a few more plays like that from Arch and Rubber Duck.
Yeah, it looks like that. I mean, it is not that it necessarily equalize anything, but it does allow a little bit of pressure to be relieved. Again, Arch Tempered is your win condition. LeBron James lovers, you need to keep that Fiora alive, and you need to funnel as much resources as you can into that Fiora, because the rest of your team is too far behind at this current moment. that the
Yep.
best way you're gonna be able to survive the mid game is to let the Fiora carry you through that mid game.
Gonna see that the Otacon is gonna be going towards bot lane, taking whatever whatever roses
Understandably, I
we
mean,
can.
eight or so kills. Let's look at the gold, perhaps, really quick.
Oh no.
Let's really
Oh,
see how
please.
bad things are looking for
Ah!
these teams.
Oh,
And
please. Put it away. Oh, oh god.
yeah,
It hurts.
uh,
It hurts.
2.2k between between the ADCs, 2,000 even in the supports. But that top lane, again, that top lane is kind of what has been keeping LeBron James lovers in the game so far. 1,400 gold in favor of the Fiora. So that has been the silver lining, and that probably will be, again, their one win condition.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be seeing them put on that pressure, trying to take whatever farm that they can. And unfortunately have to give up the Rift Herald. They may be looking to the Otacon, but we also know that Dragon is going to be coming up in a few minutes. So hopefully we'll be seeing some kind of pressure come on. Maybe see them collapse in on Handmade, perhaps. That is a 3v1.
Oh,
Oh, wait a minute. Ah, the popped ult from Arch-Tempered. Arch-Tempered is running, but unfortunately just gets smacked. Whitman smacked with the purple virus, just forced to unfortunately walk back and just take turret instead.
yeah. Yeah, Chug Chug, they're gonna collapse on mid turret in exchange. Teggy Wuggy, little aggressive. I saw the vision, of course, but a little overzealous personally. Trying to get that stun off. As Arch Tempered gonna get suppressed under the turret.
Oh no!
No!
Even with the block, it's not gonna be enough. But General Rubber Duck's just gonna be able to get off that stun. Teggy Weggy and Zeagle unfortunately getting punished trying to take down Matchup, but Matchup was just the bait to lead in for Bandit, Rubber Duck, and Kakin being able to whittle them down. This was a pretty decent one.
That was probably the best thing that could have happened in this game for LBJ. That they're almost back in the game. They don't have Smite right now, so things are a little risky. They should be able to stall it out, wait for the Amumu Smite to come back up, but like that does equalize the gold a little bit. It gives you enough prio to do the Drake, as we see them pick up the Mountain Drake. Not gonna be able to get Otacon. Otacon, famous for doing a lot of damage.
Yep.
So we'll see if what happens. I think if you're LBJ, you try to bait Otacon, and you know, once Chug Jug's trying to do it and they're low enough, that's when you come in to strike. I think that's the best case scenario.
Right. And at this point, we are just seeing them go for turrets, trying to whittle down mid, top, and
Oh,
bot. Trying their best to just take whatever objectives they can for the time being. And
back.
we are seeing Kakin getting popped up, managing to get double hit by the Heartsteel coming in from Zeagle and from Teggy Weggy, the iconic Heartsteel duo just doing what they can. Bandit getting popped up, Teggy Weggy managing to land yet another Heartsteel stack, even though he gets popped up.
Great CC under the turret. Might be able to claim Teggy Weggy.
Oh.
You know, I think that's the best case scenario there for Bandit, just being able to get yours under the turret. Things not looking great for objective control. They're not gonna. I mean, Otacon's not up yet, so can't really go for that. They're just gonna go for this bot turret. But it looks like Arch Tempered and General Rubber Duck hovering topside, looking for maybe another kill on the Fast Donuts, trying to, you know, crack that topside wide open, as it is a bit of a kind of flip. Oh my God!
Ooh, the bandage
Flashes.
and ult. Oh boy.
I mean, like cinema right there. The bandage catching the Urgot mid dash. They do confirm the kill. I mean, General Rubber Duck goes down for it. You know, gives up his bounty, which is not good. Speaking of Otacon, there it is. Otacon.
Here it is.
Not too. I mean, yeah. LBJ, their jungler's dead. Not a lot you can do there.
Oh, seeing the earlier Otacon managing to go in. Bandit is hovering in the bush. Not sure if they're going to be able to get off a good hook, but there is matchup right there. If they manage to steal it, it would still continue the cinema, but unfortunately Zeagle does have Smite.
Oh,
leaving
it's
them with the
GA
passive
one
buff.
as well.
Oh!
So yeah, if you're
Oh!
Chug Jug, you're gonna want to fight this. Kakin goes down. I mean, I saw the vision with the ult. Unfortunately, could not claim anything. Bandit out of the fight as well. Arch Tempered has recalled, came back to defend, keep his team alive, and it looks like that's exactly what will happen. But
That
I mean,
is a
how do you come
struggle,
back
and
from this?
that is the question that they'll be facing for the next few minutes. Have no idea. They're leading into tier 2, smashing them up and trying to whittle them down. We are seeing the 3v1 with Rubber Duck getting knocked up. As much tankiness as you want, but Teggy Weggy just aiding those turret shots, getting the ult off and trying their best to escape. And Zeagle barely managing to avoid death from the turret. We are seeing the fight of the top laners going, and Fast Donuts unfortunately having to withdraw as Arch Temper just dealing far too much damage against this Urgot. Whew. It's getting a little hot. Just dealing and seeing how LeBron James lovers are going to be able to whittle these down. It seems like General Rubber Duck and Arch Tempered are understanding the pick points whilst matchup is being used as bait and Bandit potentially going in with the hooks. But it's not like I'm expecting to see this be a total collapse. I have a little bit of faith. I have a little bit of faith.
Handmade just gonna pop the win button in the bush. Gonna Rubber Duck. I mean, they're gonna go down, and they're gonna be able to claim the 200 gold. I believe that went to Kakin there. Doesn't withdraw again. Power of Otacon, and
Oh yes,
I mean that's worth if you're Handmade. That's a perfectly worthwhile trading.
definitely. And that Blackfire managing to whittle down Rubber Duck is going to be very key to just slowly whittling down, backing them off, preventing them from getting too much farm, considering that Rubber Duck does seem to be enjoying the invade on the enemy jungle from time to time. But we are potentially seeing some more shenanigans going on in mid lane. Seeing Teggy Weggy trying to go in and Zeagle, both of them managing to miss their CCs, but Arch Tempered going in, getting the double fear from Kakin. Seeing all of them, managing to dodge the suppress for Arch Tempered, using their main riposte. Teggy Weggy trying to go in and seeing the silence on Bandit, and Zeagle managing to finish them off with a Heartsteel smack coming in. Was seeing Rubber Duck landing
Otacon expired!
stuns! The Otacon expired! Rubber Duck managing to get chomped up. Seeing Zeagle, oh my god, Haraka managing to finish them off. Haraka going in and getting the triple kill, leaving Chug with an ace and stealing mid tower and mid.
I think they could just end.
They might just end.
I think they might be able to end here.
Oh goodness gracious, it's only 23.5 minutes.
Oh, okay, they don't go for it. Alright, they don't go for it.
We have Dragon up, seeing the Zeagle trying to whittle them down, even at this, not even at half health, and we're just seeing them soloing Dragon. That's quite a sight, but it's, you do not want that to happen for our LeBron James lovers. I think that goes without saying.
Yeah. I mean, that wasn't the worst. So, surprisingly enough, there it is, objective bounties. I was just about to say, I haven't seen objective bounties yet.
Yeah,
there it is.
There it is. Speaking of the devil.
I think, again, I think the one thing keeping LBJ kind of in this game, they have 3 grubs, and they have towers. They have 2 towers, they have 3 grubs. I think that's kind of like the silver lining. Oh, and I guess 1 dragon. It's like they have a couple of objectives. Yeah. It's not like a lot, but it's sustainable in that sense. You know, like they're good. They're able to at least stay in it, and it provides them a great kind of point to come back if you know, they're able to find a good pick or 2. But again, Chugs are just playing they're just playing the better. They're just playing like a better team right now.
Yes, it does seem like that. We're seeing slowly all of them just eventually just kind of going to their own lanes. Handmade and Fast Donuts splitting off the bot and top, taking whatever they can to try and move the minion waves towards the tier 2s and tier 3s. And at this point, it all boils down to those team fights, because you have Zeagle, you have Teggy Weggy Man potentially just going out there and popping you up, with Handmade just pushing the win button. Everyone has their ult. It's not like they couldn't be able to make some kind of big comeback, but now it's time for the Baron. It's time to see what's about to go down.
And, and what is about to go down is a team fight for the ages. This is going to determine the game. We see a suppress coming in onto the Mumu. The win button pressed onto the jungler. So even if they lose, even if they hemorrhage some players, they're going to be able to get this Baron. Looks like talking through the ult, didn't choose to go in. We see Tegiwegi going to be walking forward, walking straight at that Vex. It does not matter. The Yordle cannot do anything about it. Matchup comes over. That's really all they're going to do as Arch-Tempered walking forward, running forward. Going to be able to kill Tegiwegi. Gets slammed into the wall by Zeagle. And that's going to be Haraka cleaning things up. Ace granted for the blue team, and I mean, I think they just edge. They take this Baron. They should be able to just walk it down mid fully.
I mean, we are already seeing Fast Donuts, even if it's not on screen. Fast Donuts is just using whatever he can to just push those in and take one of those towers, potentially leaving them with just a bad situation. It's just not a good sign to see their mid lane just completely open up, and almost their bot and top lane. It's a bad time. It's just a bad time. That's all I can say. It's not looking good.
It's not. I mean, if you invested your stocks in the LeBron James lovers, this might not be a good time, guys. This is not a good look for number 23.
No,
not looking good.
It is not. It's not looking that great. I'm certainly interested to see if we're going to be getting, I mean, if they even care about Dragon Soul, or if they just potentially just all funnel down mid, go for another ace, or if we're just going to be seeing more island shenanigans coming in from Handmade and Fast Donuts splitting, whilst everyone else is just going off. It's a tough thing to see right now. I had some of my faith in and seeing what kind of potential both sides had. But Zeagle and Tegiwegi just provoking so much pain and destruction with the hard steel. They just have so much and getting and gobbling up Bandit and Rubber Ducky managing to land a double ult, but it's just not going to be enough against Fast Donuts and Haraka coming in, whittling them down and getting crushed and suppressed from Zeagle and Handmade. Oh yeah, just might be over.
That's gonna be it. They're just gonna walk it down mid. I mean, we saw Haraka. I mean, they were able to get onto the Vayne and, you know, throw some CC on him. Got the Curse of the Sad Mummy, but unfortunately, he has Cleanse.
Oh, they want Arch-Tempered.
They want Arch-Tempered.
They
want him so bad.
Will they kill this top laner? The potential biggest threat of this game, and that is the ace. Oh my god, that's disrespect. That's some saltiness right there coming in. Just,
honestly, like, full respect.
Yeah.
Just do that for basically for the bit.
For the bit, 3 aces in one game, a massive blowout. Oh, the driver's seat was helmed, and it was just they ran them over. Unfortunately, it's a sad state of affairs.
That was unfortunately not that close. Like, I like the early game when we had, you know, LBJ went for the late invade and were very successful, able to get a kill or two, able to get a kill. They just couldn't do anything more with it. Right? They just kind of fizzled out. There was not. I think the no support item start was. I mean, I don't even know how much that changes the kind of what went down. I think at the end of the day, it was just they just got outplayed. Like,
even
thoroughly.
Not to discredit Kakin or their abilities with that support item, but even if they went the entire game without that support item, I don't know how much of a big difference it would have made, considering that we were seeing Tegiwegi just taking so much initiative with those Tahm Kench dives, on top of Zeagle managing to get so much pressure on the bot lane. Combine that with the fact that even though General Rubber Ducky was able to go in and help out Arch-Tempered and top at some points, it just didn't feel like enough to really whittle down the strengths that Chug had on their team just from the get-go.
Yeah. And then the Vayne got ahead. Have
Mm-hmm.
3 tanks on your team. What do? You just keep the
Uh,
Vayne alive
yeah.
and you win the game. And that's exactly what we saw. So not
Yep.
not all too, I would say they played their comp how they should have played their comp. They got
Yep.
the Vayne ahead and they got their tanks tanky and they just walked at him and won. So
Yep.
fortunately, just kind of how it is. And LeBron James lovers, I mean, they fell behind and they just couldn't find the window of opportunity. They could not find the line. They couldn't get back in to the game. But sometimes that's just how it ends.
Yeah.
And
The
quite as simple as
unfortunate
that.
soul. Yep. It's gonna be a pretty strong start for week 2, and hopefully we'll be seeing more from Chug Jug and more from LeBron James lovers. Hoping to see some more adaptability. Like you said, they're all learning about each other. They're learning about their strengths, their weaknesses, what things may have come up or may appear again. So hopefully they're taking notes, they're learning from each other, and they're adapting for their future games.
Yeah, something I can tell you for sure though that there will be another game after this one. We're gonna get the second match of the day, Conglomerate of Mewing versus Pangea Knowers. It's gonna be on the other side of this break. Will it be a closer affair? Will we see a 50-minute slog? Will we see a barn burner?
I
Find out on the other side of this break.
Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go! Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Everybody bring it in. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go. Let's go, let's move side to side, let's go.
All right, and we are back. Welcome back to SLOLCS 2025. I am now here with a new commentator, one who isn't just a static image. It is DLD26, aka David. How are you doing
Hi.
today?
I'm doing pretty. Wow. I mean, you wouldn't be the first person to make that mistake. I go by many names: David, Dill Pickle, Tommy Pickles. It happens. Now, I'm looking at these teams, and the first thing I see is that while it is a matchup between two teams, it's not really the same matchup because the best players on one of the teams, at least the highest ranked players, are both missing.
Ooh, you are correct. We are dealing with some sub situations, and if you were here for the previous matchup, we will be seeing two players coming in from the last team of General Rubber Duck and Matchup, I believe, coming in to sub in, which is going to be fun for those of you who are wondering if the Corky is going to get a kill or if General Rubber Duck is going to have his run back, which we are hoping to see today, at least. I'm excited to see it. I don't know about you.
It-
Oh, it's arch tempered.
Ooh.
Ooh, even better.
Is Archtemper
Exciting.
playing jungle?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Arch tempered is
Okay.
jungle.
From a random voice in the sky, we're being told Archtemper is there in the jungle.
Ah, thank you. Thank you, Sky Voice. I mean with these swap ins, whatever General Rubber Duck is doing, I'm assuming it's
No, General Rubber Duck isn't there.
It's not, or they're just
No.
listening in, I guess.
We'll
My
see.
mistake. My mistake.
So I want to talk about the power rankings real fast.
Yes, please
With
do.
that in mind, Conglomerate. Yes, they're bottom of the power rankings, but they only had one game last week.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a bit harsh. But, somehow one game is able to prove in 1 week who the worst team is. Also, they're able to prove what the best team is, even though One Love 2-0 stomped should be on top. But, that's just bias coming out right there.
Yeah, well, there is obviously going to be some biases towards certain players, certain love coming in from certain places. I am excited to see if we are going to have any standout players coming in. Obviously, Blazing Space Pup has made their presence throughout these times that they have showed up at Slow LCS, but they are going up against a pretty interesting matchup here with Pangea Knowers. They are both in lower standings, so hopefully we'll be seeing some better synergies, some potential some better communication on both sides. But hey, this is only week 2, so they maybe haven't synergized as well as they're hoping for.
That's true. On the bright side, we get to know for sure one of these teams is getting their first win of Slow LCS.
Very true, very true. And that's why we have it on stream. We are happy to see all these teams prosper, getting those wins, learning from their mistakes. That's what this is all about.
Well, I'm excited to see what a hybrid of Calm and I don't remember what team matchups from. It's new to the tournament. I don't have all the teams down. LeBron James lovers.
Yeah.
Because it's
Ron
almost a
James
hybrid
lovers.
fusion, so that should be interesting.
Well, I'm interested to see if there's going to be any standouts or if we're going to be seeing any more stomps. I'm hoping to see some more even kills across the board, maybe some better understanding of the tank versus tank buster matchups, and maybe seeing if these objectives are going to play more into the games. Given that last match, we were seeing a lot of stompage going on for Baron and for Otacon, so maybe we'll be seeing that today with PK versus Com.
Yeah, I'm personally looking forward to the top lane. Again, a little bit of bias because I love top lane, and I
Fair.
want to see if it can be a true, amazing 1v1, or if any of those junglers are going to sneak up there and try to ruin the sanctity of that lane.
The sanctity of the island, that's very fair. I'm hoping to see less of a messy start going in for support lane. I mean, for supports, obviously we had the bit of a slip up for Kakin as the sub missing out on their support item. If we see that again, that's gonna be it's gonna be a bad omen for the future of those team supports. But I do have some hope that we'll be seeing some more pressure coming on from teams learning from Teggy Weggy, as well as anyone going in to this game realizing that their supports are gonna make a big impact on these games. Never scoff at your support trying to do something, right?
That's true. And since we don't know the draft yet, I'm gonna get some draft predictions out.
Okay.
Right away, I think Kwanzaa support for Com.
Yeah,
I think for sure we're going to see Kwanzaa on an engage support.
that
I'm
is a
thinking
fair.
Nautilus,
Yeah.
Rel, Leona, something like that. And we
I mean,
know Sean will pick Wukong if it is available to him. He's played it in both games, even though they lost. I think you're gonna see Sean on Wukong.
definitely high expectations. We have been seeing the Wukong either be picked or banned for a good amount of these games, and nearly half of the games so far have had a Nautilus at least on one side. About 6 of the games so far this week have had a presence of Nautilus, and not to say that Nautilus support or mid is better, but I am hoping to see their engage potential with Nautilus be utilized. Kwanzaa having all those potential choices, Rel, Nautilus, Leona, maybe even something like a Amumu, Blitzcrank, even, or a Pike could also be a little bit more aggressive. But I am thinking that something Takier might be smarter for his first pick.
And if we look at the Discord, we all know there's a possibility of some sneaky Soraka and not a support. We can see it mid, we can see it top.
We
Who
could.
knows? But there's always that little small chance we see a Soraka in a lane that she's not used to.
I mean, coming in for me, enjoying my Soraka time here at SLOLCS, I can certainly anticipate some Soraka gameplay, but we are going to be learning what's going to happen here. Ooh, seeing some interesting picks here. What are your immediate thoughts on this?
Right away, Wukong Calm saved their jungle ban, or saved their jungle pick into the second round, which means Pangito was able to ban it away. So I'm actually kind of excited to see Sean on a different jungler. What do you notice right away?
What I immediately notice is that the Nautilus was banned second pick, which does mean that their support was waiting for it later. Seeing the Mbessa, Amumu, and Galio picks does mean that Pangea does seem to be going for something a little more tanky, a little more sustain, maybe into what Com has to offer, which isn't as much durability overall outside of maybe Trundle, but it's gonna be a bit difficult for Pangea Noahs to overall win this, seeing as how they have a Viego, a Kali, and a Trundle who could potentially all just brutalize some characters like the Lulu, the Misfortune, or even the Amumu.
Yeah, but I love that Lulu Misfortune, especially with all of the engage of Mbessa and Amumu and Galio. Lulu is best support in the game right now. Misfortune's probably the best ADC, and that raw power might be able to overwhelm the side of Com.
It's certainly going to be interesting to see how much pressure is going to be put on bot lane. The Vel'Koz pick for bot lane, I'm certainly a lover of Vel'Koz. It's going to be interesting to see if he's going to be able to lay on the pressure against this Misfortune and Lulu, if they're going to be able to properly space out. Combine that with the Ezreal just firing off as many projectiles as possible. It's going to be interesting to see if even either jungler, their Amumu or the Viego, are going to be able to go in on bot lane successfully.
Yeah, I agree. I'm looking at top lane. Top lane, Mbessa and Trundle are both extremely volatile. And if one starts snowballing, it can become a nightmare.
Yeah.
Because if Trundle gets ahead, him on a side lane will destroy a tower. If you match him, if he gets ahead, you might need 2, even 3 people. And if you want to gamble, can I introduce you to the channel point predictions?
Ooh,
You
yes,
know,
please.
it's pretty tough. Gusto, can you keep a 4 out of 4?
Oh, you put so much pressure on me now. You got me thinking. I'm feeling like with these matchups, with how both teams are looking for that first win, I am feeling a little more favor towards Calm at the moment, mostly due to what you were talking about with the snowballing of the Trundle. If he can potentially get those stronger first two items, seeing as how the Akali is also a pretty interesting matchup, even into the Galio, who could be tanky and a little more initiative with his taunt. It's just gonna be. I'm feeling like I could go 4 for 4, but I'm gonna say go on towards the sides of Calm right now.
Interesting. Even though they're in the predictions, you could argue the title their team has could be misconstrued as something very dirty.
Well,
So,
we'll put a period in front of it. All right, .com. We're gonna leave it at
okay,
that. All right, we're
okay.
gonna. I don't know. You either look at the .com or you look at like the PK like Starstorm type stuff going on over at Pangea Knowers. All my mother fans out there, but I am interested to see if the island up top is going to remain an island, or if we're going to be seeing some initiation coming in from the mid lane or from jungle on either side. I mean, what are you hoping to see this game?
I am hoping to see Pangea Knowers think they're gonna win. They're running down, but then Trundle TP's the top lane, ends the game via a base race.
Ooh,
That's the big brain hype base race scenario.
ooh. As I'm looking into chat, seeing the no Mel picks, cowards, stupids. You love to see people immediately trashing on Mel. And if any of you out there are looking for some tips or some help on Mel, just know the spacing matchup. That's all you need to remember. And that's sort of something that could be said for any of the mid laners or any supports. For the Lulu, for the Vel'Koz, Akali, and Galio, it's going to be all about spacing, finding those times to go in and apply that pressure.
My, I honestly feel like Mel plays. This is gonna sound weird. A lot like Blitzcrank. That
Blitz.
the power of the W is almost more powerful not using it because
Hmm.
it forces everyone to be scared of it, just like Blitzcrank Hook.
Right,
Because
right.
if you're spamming it, it just says, "Hey, here's a 30-second window where I can be killed."
It's true, it's true. And I've dealt with fair share of both mid and support Mel's, and it's not like she's far off when it comes to the pressure possibilities, but enough about Mel. She's not in this game, and hopefully people aren't going to be mad that she may not be showing up for a little while. But hey, we're seeing these matchups, seeing what's going down. We are seeing double support items. Thank you. That helps me and my anxiety, and hopefully everybody else's anxiety, if not of what happened with Kaken. But it seems like we're just seeing some standard stuff here. Nothing too crazy to start.
Some interesting things to note. We have Ambessa choosing with Flash Teleport. Often, especially into Trundle, even though that ghost can be scary, if you want any kind of kill pressure, you probably want to go Teleport Ignite.
Hmm.
And then on top of that, Akali not having to go Doran Shield because Galio's not a poke laner. So she actually gets the advantage of being able to go Doran's Ring.
It is a rare moment for the Akali, usually not having to worry as much about their sustain, but we are potentially seeing some looky around from Arch Tempered and from Rotman from Rog Shots. It's gonna be a potential invade here. We are seeing at Fumble just sort of sitting there, not having noticed it since they were going to the bot, or maybe they did and they're just waiting for something to happen.
Let's see, does Kwanzaa get caught here? Ooh, he dodges the Q. It's only a little bit of poke.
Only a little bit, and so far, skin check seems pretty on point with what we got here. Porcelain, Star Guardians, Bell Cause, and B Cause, and of course the Fairy Court Ezreal. Pretty good
And as
so
you can
far.
see, as you see, the junglers are splitting the map with Arch Tempered going in and stealing the red and Krugs. But Sean, realizing this with that ward, being able to see and match, which means Ambessa has to be careful for Pangea Knowers. And the bot lane, even though they're pushing, need to be careful of a level 3 Amumu gank.
Are making sure that cute anime girls doesn't overextend too far, because even though Sean did deal with Raptors, that doesn't mean that he's completely out of options when it comes to using bandages over the wall. As many have dealt with in the mid lane, those bandages can be a big hurt, especially with someone potentially as engaging as Galio with the wing blast into the uppercut.
And the ward placed does actually spot Viego, so Clan Crusher should know this gank is coming. But gets stunned by the W.
Oh.
Is the taunt gonna be enough? Flash? He's gonna flash Q and he gets the kill. Arch-Tempered with first blood. Now, first blood doesn't matter as much, especially now that the gold isn't there, and it's first to 3. But that's a good start for the Viego. As Amumu comes to the bot side, bandage lands, but has to flash away. That E is too safe, and the play kind of dies out. Good early game for Calm. Now, let's see Gusto.
Gonna be interesting. At Pummel and Rogshots just going kind of back and forth, using their different abilities, just in a big struggle. Meanwhile, Hedo and Matchup just poking out and doing what they can. Shown just not having as solid of a matchup into matchup. Mostly because of that teleport is just going to be really rough. On top of the Vel'Koz pop-up just being really devastating since the travel time is just so much faster than it used to be. And at this point, it's just the two big swinging top laners just going back and forth, smacking each other's towers, smacking each other's minions, and it's just going to be seeing who can apply that early tower pressure first.
Now, I think an interesting point to note is Arch-Tempered started off with a potion, and Sean did not. And we look, Arch-Tempered was able to have enough health to be able to flash under tower and get that first blood, while Sean, and not having that potion, he ended up having to flash away because he didn't have enough health. So you wonder, could that play gone differently if he ended up starting with a potion?
It is certainly an interesting quarry. Any of you want to experiment down in the chat, go ahead. But at Pummel and Rogshots taking solid hits, chunking each other, using the whiplashes from at Pummel, seeing Sean just looking at a potential gank going in a Rogshot, but bot lane just poking each other out, forcing waves to freeze and potentially go into the tower. But it doesn't seem like Sean is going in or anything of the sort. It's just sort of watching. He's remaining towards the middle of the lane. It's just a lot of back and forth.
Through the directed cam, which is tough, it looked like Sean went for a bandage on that first pass around, missed, and then ended up just messing around. But we'll never know, as Arch-Tempered is looking to gank the bottom lane, but Try is warded. I don't know, he's just getting Scuttle.
Does seem to be warded, is going to go for potential Scuttle and Dragon pick. We do also see Cute Anime Girl going into help with at Pummel and Rogshots just having their big old tug of war, going back and forth, just managing to land that bite. That's slow coming in from the Trundle Ice Cube, just sort of making it really difficult for Mbessa to just land any more of those solid hits.
And good zoning from Cute Anime Girl to make sure jungle gets the dragon, is safe. And is Sean caught out here?
Maybe not. Going in, seeing Clan just managing to land that ult, that solid 2-man ult, and Sean managing to get finished off by Arch-Tempered, but it seems like Clan wasn't able to capitalize as hard doing the solid damage. The Wing Blast and the pop-up just not doing enough damage. It is a shame to see it, but it doesn't mean they're completely out with that one kill.
It's true. I mean, Cute Anime Girl lived with 1 HP. It's definitely a tough break. And Mbessa doesn't have any flash. It does land the execution and is actually able to save her life. The public execution. Just sometimes you just need it to get away.
That is very true. It's very interesting to see the potential utility in that, meaning swapping those places, just managing to get back, seeing the teleport coming in top, and it's going to be another play at the objectives coming in from Arch-Tempered and Cute Anime Girl, both of them kind of working in tandem with each other. This is what I always want to see. I like seeing teammates working together, communicating, and seeing how important these objectives are, especially into a matchup where PK still does have the potential to come back. Shown just having those solid enough advantages and potential coming in from Zell and Clan Crusher. I am hoping to see them contest, however.
Yes. I was looking at the Vel'Koz's runes, and as an ASAP enjoyer, he's been running Dark Harvest and not Comet, just due to the access of Deep Ward. And I don't know if you know what Deep Ward does, Gusto?
Yes, it's all about the longevity of those wards going in far into the jungle and just using that vision. Gonna be very
Viego steals
important.
away the big raptor, and
Oh,
caught out. Ooh,
he
the
on
big
Arch Temper.
shutdown.
Gonna be a big shutdown. Clan Crusher and Shone showing off the double CC and the perfect timing, waiting on that full waiting on the full usage of Shone's CC to go off, and then waiting for the pop up just to maximize that CC onto Arch Tempered is just so smart. Hopefully, we'll be seeing that with mid and bot just showing off some pressure at the turret.
Now, we need to be careful, especially Vel'Koz is only level 5, and Misfortune has her ultimate ability. So we could see... Oh, but Sean,
Whoa.
he's caught out, he's dead. Give it to the Akali if you can. No, miss the E, and that is a third kill, and the first of the 3 feats heading to Calm.
All we are waiting on is seeing which side is going to be able to contest that. Feat of Strength is a pretty either really easy or very contestable point, since both sides could be able to contest using jungle monsters or with kills. And at this point, it's all down to whether or not PK is going to be able to land that solid turret kill, which none of the lanes seem to be applying that much pressure to turret as of yet, outside of maybe bot lane.
Well, right now, I would say there's a very high likelihood Calm's going to win the Feats of Strength. Ooh, the ult goes down from the Trundle, but Mbessa's Mbessa. She has enough dash to live. Because if you look, Calm has 2 of the 3 objectives that they need.
Seeing Hedo trying to land on those long shots from Vel'Koz is a shame to see him use the beam and missing it altogether. But Shone and Arch Tempered having their fight, forcing the flash over from Shone is going to be very valuable for Arch Tempered, especially going in and using the ult, the unstoppable, managing to land, getting the boost. But we do see the boost going on to Zell, and it's just not going to be enough, as well as missing from Clan Crusher with the ult for the airborne, and seeing the double CC go again from Clan Crusher and from Shone at the same time. Matchup trying to whittle down the Shone and Kwanzek, but it's just not going to be enough, leaving a kill on the board for both sides.
Wow, that was a crazy fight. I actually almost want to see Rogshots give up some of his lane, recall, and head towards the dragon. Just because if Calm gets the dragon, that is feats 1, don't have to worry about it for the rest of the whole game.
It is going to be interesting to see if these objectives are going to happen. Are seeing a few minutes until next dragon and next set of grubs. Hopefully we'll be seeing some actual contesting going on from Shone and from Clan Crusher. The 2 combinations of mid and jungles do seem to be quite strong, whilst at Pumble just managing to land some of those shots on Brogshot. I think you're correct in that he should probably go towards the prioritization of dragon.
Well, if they spot a Mumu top, feats are already probably lost. If I'm Mbessa, I'm spam pinging, help, help, this is a dive, this is a dive. And let's see if Sean and at Pummel can actually make it happen, or is the recall gonna go off? Recall cancels. And it looks like common Pangea killers are going to trade objectives. This, while it does mean they don't get more of the grubs, do mean, officially, Feats of Strength are won as the public execution does miss onto the Akali.
Anime girl
ult
just
trade.
trying to looking at the ult trade, baiting out the public execution, which is pretty good.
And I think Akali is so hard to play in this game. Ooh, dive happening. Stun lands. Ult's not enough. Hugify. Arch Tempered is going to die, but the Lulu does get the shutdown. And wow, Arch Tempered, he has almost all of the kills on his team and all of the deaths. He really is everywhere.
He is truly playing the role of the Ruined King, showing off the deaths and the strengths, and of course going Borks first into this matchup, wanting to sustain themselves, especially against the potential strength of lethality coming in from Zell. Seeing as how Kwanzaa has managed to keep Zell pretty decently sustained with the ult. It's going to be interesting to see if we are going to have any sort of way from here and there. Obviously, bot lane is going more towards Calm, but it doesn't seem like Pangea is completely out when it comes to top or mid. So it's interesting to see where this tug of war is going to go.
Yeah, right now, even though the gold's even, you do worry a little bit about the feats. But I'd be more worried about the Drake stacking. 2 dragons, this 3rd Drake in a couple minutes is going to be a huge deciding point. Now, I'm trying to think. Who actually outscales in this game?
That is a good question. There really aren't any huge scaling champions right now. At this point, seeing the double coming up from the mid and the botman, the mid and jungler, Arch-Tempered getting taunted and whittled down by Shone and Clan Crusher, but is Shone gonna be whittled down by Cute Anime Girl? Shone is just walking away, going under turret, but Clan Crusher is slowly getting whittled down yet again. That Leandri is just breaking through the magic resist from the Galio, unfortunately going for max health, which is going to be important for this Akali to actually be sustainable in this matchup. The double pop-up from Kwanzaa, missing the ult, but seeing the beam going on, it's just a massacre from multiple sides. And seeing the ult going in from Cute Anime Girl and managing to barely survive against that last shot. Oh, it's a triple kill on the side of Calm. And we're seeing the gold differential start to pop up.
I mean, those fights happening right before, the gold was very even before those couple of fights went Calm's way. And now you see it, shutdowns on the side of Calm. A little bit of gold lead, the biggest gold lead beating at 500 gold that Ezreal has over the MF. And even though the Vel'Koz gold lead over Lulu is slightly bigger, it doesn't matter as much as the bandage lands. Good pillar, is it going to be enough? Perfect, the public execution comes in. And this might seem like a weird complaint. I always struggle a little bit with Mbessa ult and Akali ult being so similarly named. It's perfect execution versus public execution.
Well, I do certainly see the choice of naming convention and why they went with it. It would be funny to see a patch one day of seeing a change in name, but at this point it doesn't really matter. Zell getting popped up at the same time with Arch-Temper, that blast cone not really doing them any good. Potentially seeing Kwanzaa getting caught out, getting stunned in from Arch-Tempered, seeing the double taunt going in. Cute Anime Girls is managing to barely survive. The buff going on to Clan Crusher, unfortunately seeing the Manhetto trying to go and kill Kwanzaa, but it's just not going to be enough. Shone landing the bandage, getting popped up again from the E, but it's stunned, managing to do enough damage to finish off Hetto, and Kwanzaa gets killed off. The double hit going from matchups ult, but Clan Crusher is going to finally potentially whittle down Cute Anime Girl. Please don't tell me that this is how it's going to go, but they finish off Cute Anime Girl finally getting that shutdown.
Yeah, but if you're Calm, you probably still take that fight.
Oh,
Jungler
yes.
dies, and right now, this Ezreal is massive. The subs for Calm are coming in huge with both matchup and Arch-Tempered, having themselves a game.
Definitely seeing all sorts of sway here and there. Bot lane just not having an easy time. Hetto is not really too worried when it comes to getting kills or kills here. It's all about finishing off both him and matchup. The Ezreal Vel'Koz combination is just a solid one when it comes to just finishing off those priority targets. Clan Crusher trying to look towards top lane to maybe get something happening against Rockshot, but I don't think it's going to be really that important, especially when they're both under tower and he's managing to try to whittle down, but the shields going in are just so problematic for Rockshot, especially with Eclipse just being one of the key items for Mbessa.
Now, if I'm a Mumu, I don't think you can fight this dragon. I would be telling my team, let's go Herald. Let's at least get something out of this. Because this Ezreal on one item, yes, he's strong. Yes, maybe you could fight. But now, instead of getting an objective trade, now that Herald's just sitting there, waiting for Calm to take it.
Seeing Hetto trying to go in, managing to pop up. Is he going to be able to kill Kwanzaa? Even with the ult, it's not going to be enough for Kwanzaa to sustain themselves. It's just going to be a shame. Polymorph whittling down Cute Anime Girl. Hedo just wanting to get for Clan Crusher, but that magic resistance coming in from Hollow Radiance is just going to be too much. Not really having the magic pen, which isn't the hugest priority when it comes to most support Vel'Koz builds. But Shown trying to peek out, managing to miss the bandage, but getting the stun. Clan Crusher getting in for the unstoppable. Shown managing to finish off Cute Anime Girl, and the taunt going in from Arch Tempered as the Galio is going to be important. Finishing off Shown. It's a pretty solid takeaway here for the side of Calm, even though you lost your mid laner.
This is solo queue. You're telling your mid laner, thank you, good job, because they might get tilted that they've died twice, but both deaths have been pretty useful. And I think Bess is out of here. Ooh, the knockup does land.
Oh, the double knockup.
Ooh, the beam's barely enough.
The beam! Never underestimate the Vel'Koz beam, especially when you start off going for the burn even with Malignance. It's just so disgusting how much a support Vel'Koz can do. Never underestimate that damage, and it seems like PK is gonna need to worry about that, especially with double bounties on their heads. They're becoming a problem.
And the time is ticking before Ezreal finishes his tier item and just becomes unstoppable. It's just going to be so tough. I'm looking at it. You're going to have to hope he just ease in, overzealous, and then eventually you'll be able to kill him and punish him. Because Pangea Knowers has a lot of CC to be able to punish Ezreal if he makes a mistake.
Gonna be interesting seeing the Shorelia pop. Unfortunately missing double bandage on Shown. Not gonna be enough. Matchup managing to just teleport and just blip around. Head up, man. The pop up from both the bot laners' E's are just so annoying for them to deal with, especially Shown. The skill shot bandages are just not gonna be easy to land, especially now when the Ezreal just has so much ability haste. But what are we seeing here? You're gonna be seeing Shown.
Careful not to get caught.
Oh,
Ult time?
How many ults? Seeing 4 ults going off at the same time. Shown, Zell, and Kwanzek all just trying to survive. Hedo managing to get finished off by Clan Crusher. That beam not going to be enough to kill off anybody in particular. And it's just going to be a loss on the side of Calm for this little bit. With the public execution going on to Cute Anime Girl, this is the target you want to do. You see a squishy Akali, this is the time to execute. Whose execution is better? We will see.
Now, even though those are some huge kills for Pangea Knowers, something that you could argue is even more important, matchup had to flash. That's an Ezreal that now, instead of having 2 dashes, only has 1, and becomes even easier to catch out in a fight.
It's gonna be an interesting one to see if they're gonna be able to catch out Cute Anime Girl or matchup. These two are both maybe not the obviously the matchup is the biggest problem right now. That's snowballing Ezreal, getting close to his to his second item of Manamune. Seeing how these tier 3 boots are just gonna make these characters so much stronger. Hopefully we'll be seeing them call out, and now we are seeing the potential objective steal, the top lane Otacon for Arch Tempered and Hedo.
Now, this one, you'd honestly like to take a sigh of relief if you're Pangea Knowers at the fact that this is Ruinous Otacon and not Voracious Otacon. Because if you see, at least I believe it is, it's hard to tell, and the specking is horrible. It'll get better.
But tell me, what's the difference?
So, if it is Voracious, and that is, I realized it a little after, but this is a nightmare scenario. Even though Cute Anime Girl might go down, it honestly won't matter. With it being Voracious, this should be a guaranteed soul for Calm if they play it right. It's spawning in 10, and especially with Akali and Trundle having teleport. I guess Akali not anymore, but Trundle can go all in, die, and teleport back to the fight, making it so hard.
Are seeing 2 withdraws be used up here for Cute Anime Girl and Hedo, but that just might be okay, considering they still have matchup and the jungler Arch Tempered here to potentially steal in. Seeing the mist go down for Arch Tempered, it could be enough, but it may or may not. Yes, it gets stolen! It gets stolen for soul point for Com. That is it. It is just going to be a total wash with dragons. At this point, they might as well just consider, should we focus so hard on Elder Dragon? Maybe, but they're just getting pushed back. That strong take from Arch-Tempered, and now the game is paused for a bathroom break.
I mean,
Ugh.
Ezreal couldn't contain himself.
This
You know what
was-
happened?
This was-
He got so excited over the dragon steal that he had to go to the bathroom.
It, of course. Such a terrifying time to see that the clean sweep of dragons, barely having much to worry about, and now at this point, it's all a matter of once they on pause, what is about to go down? Are we going to be seeing more trouble going on in mid lane? Are we going to be seeing a potential look towards the Baron? What is happening?
Well, that's just the power of Noxus, right? Without the Otacon, they at least get to kill on Viego, so it's not as bad. But they just got 200 gold and 1 blood petal. That's all they get for Viego stealing that dragon, and it just starts to feel even worse.
Yeah. It is pretty bad. Not really seeing many ways out of this. Not to say that the Baron couldn't make the difference if we could see them take it on the side of PK, but it's just so hard to potentially come back against that Arch-Tempered Steel matchup, still growing strong as the unkillable Demon King on the side of Com, but it's just so problematic. His Arcane Shift just flipping him away, making it so hard for them to land any solid blows. Even with Hedo going in and using up his withdraw, that was enough vision that they took away to where Arch-Tempered could come in, missed, and steal it at the last second.
And let's look at some bright sides. As the Flash goes on bullet time clause in the Flash, nothing crazy. Flash trades between the Amumu and the Akali. But realistically, let's look at the positives for Pangea Nord. We love this bug. Definitely
We love it.
hasn't been in the game for years. But
Ugh.
Pangea Nord has some positivity. This Ambessa is strong, is on the cusp of 2 items. This Galio is strong, and they can do some stuff. Withdraw, nothing worried. Ambessa going in, but too many slows, not enough damage.
Too
And it's
many
tough.
slows. Rog shots just managing to slow them down. Even with those 200 gold withdraws, it just feels bad that they're not even able to make a huge dent when it comes to gaining that gold advantage again. There's a 4k differential at this point, even though the kills are only 6 difference, the 4 objectives just feel so bad. Not really anything that they can really gnash their teeth on when it comes to openings, considering that none of the tier 1 turrets have been taken down. There really is no one clear sign. They really need to capitalize on taking shots at someone like Matchup or Cute Anime Girl to prioritize that one particular lane to advance on.
And something I'd actually love to see is, with the kind of added pressure that Calm has had, as Vel'Koz might be caught out, we'll have
The
to see.
Terralia pop. Sing the Q
Vel'Koz
and
is
the
fine.
W.
So I'd love to see the bloody petals difference between the two, because as Calm slowly gets to take over the map, they get to get more of that experience, more of that adaptive force, and it could give a struggle as the ult comes down from Trundle, but Ambessa can just dash too much.
Oh, the
And-
5v1.
Trundle goes down,
Hate to see
too
it.
overzealous. And oh, that might be an advantage you might regret, but you just get out of there. Potentially a little caught out. Wow.
Ooh,
The
getting
damage?
whittled down. The ult coming in from Kwanzaa to save him, but not enough. Matchup managing to sling that long shot going in from Ezreal. It's just not going to be enough for Kwanzaa to shield or to ult. Even with those shields potentially coming back fast with the ability haste that she's got, it's not going to be enough. And Cute Anime Girl whittling down to tier 2 on bot. And now we're seeing the big scary lady with the swingy fists going in, being probably one of the biggest threats to Cute Anime Girl, since she doesn't really have a lot of survivability against the Ambessa.
That shows the power of what Ezreal currently had. That True Shot Barrage plus the Manamune is just... And now your Shirelias, this Ezreal hurts. Every Q, if you're squishy, is going to do hundreds of damage and just be rough.
Hopefully we'll be seeing something more coming on. I know Shone isn't exactly happy with the ratio of bandages they've managed to land on anybody, but at this point we are seeing some cogs open up. All 3 tier 2 turrets are gone. At this point it's just a matter of, can they wait for Baron to potentially accelerate their lanes, or are they going to manage to get out a particular pick against PK in order to capitalize? We shall see. At this point, it is just a matter of who is going to get caught out first, as we've been seeing.
I'd love to see a 4-1 where 4 of the members of COM either go top or bot, just try to push the lanes, and have that trundle just be a split push nightmare between mid and top lane.
Will we see your bet come through, David Dill? I'm interested to see if the split push machine of Rog Shots is going to be enough. He channels his ult and barely manages to escape. Clan Crusher understanding of seeing the triple stun going in from Shone. Hedo managing to get called out, and the knockup going on to Arch Temper, but it's just not going to be enough. The bullet storm. The bullet time just not really doing much of anything against Arch Tempered or Matchup, getting to blip away and use the unstoppable. Rock Shots, like you said, he managed to go for it, but the public execution against Arch Tempered is going to be enough to finish them off. Will Rock Shots be able to survive this? No, but you do see Matchup getting and killing off at Pummeled and getting the third against Zell. It's just not going to be enough, and Cute Anime Girl going for the split. Both Rock Shots and Cute Anime Girl were listening in and understood. They were going in for the split pushing, and now they have a neckman. They have one of the inhibitors down. It is
honestly a bit of a miscue. If Matchup stayed, the game's over.
Right.
He would have gotten the inhib, and the game's over. But since he recalled, Pangeanos get to fight for another day.
Oh.
And
I believe someone owes you some kind of money. The split pushing that we just saw there with Cute Anime Girl and Rog Shots, even if they weren't able to go in for the tier 4 towers, it's just so much of their defenses has just been whittled down. They really don't have one lane they can just focus down on and farm. At this point, they're going to have to deal with the threat of them all collapsing in on one lane or going in for a pincer maneuver again. But, I mean, how do you think they can end this game?
You send Trundle mid, because that's the only place for the tower. You then send the 4 in either top or bot. You know, you could thank Los Ratones, but from watching them, I actually learned some new macro that when you are splitting as a large group, you want to be in either top or bot, because you can't get flanked from multiple angles. And the Elder might just be too much to deal with. And with Elder, they can probably just walk 5 down mid.
Yeah. Rock Shots
coming down. Quanzek low. Quanzek killed. MF killed. Just the Elder Dragon breathing on everybody. It's an ace for nothing. And this game is over.
Seeing the over cute anime girl and just getting antsy going in for those tier 3s. Everyone else piling in, killing off the last tier 3 and now tier 4. And that is game. COM 27 to PK's 14. It was pretty tough. Pretty tough towards the latter half.
806. Highest CS in the game. No deaths. And while it's tough, because I do think Cute Anime Girl could make a case for themselves, I've got to give the MVP to Matchup.
Yeah. We were certainly seeing some strong points from each side. Arch Temper's steal of Dragon Point, Rog Shots being able to whittle down both top lane and bot lane for the towers, Cute Anime Girl helping to sustain certain fights and calling out certain matchups, as well as pulling out certain characters and forcing them to chase after her. But Matchup just managing to land some of those strong shots, never dying, missing so many Amumu bandages, and combo that with Hedo's pop-ups, as well as the fact that they were just willing to go in and die for some of those fights. It's just, it's such a rough time for PK right now.
Especially, and, well, I'm going to do what Pangea knowers are going to want to do, and look ahead to next game.
Yeah.
If you look, they are versus whatever burger, and Whatever Burger's 1-1. They had a bye week today, and let's see if Pangeanos can get their first win next week, or if they're going to be able to survive. But do we want to preview tomorrow's matchups?
It's gonna be an interesting one for tomorrow's matchups. I am certainly excited to see what kind of fights are going to be going down, if we are going to be seeing any more big picks when it comes to choices of objectives and champions. Obviously, seeing some of those stronger matchups and stronger picks are going to be essential, especially when going off of point guard of who is your key member, especially with the matchup example from this last match. Hopefully we'll be seeing something big, and I will go 4 for 4 of my commentary choices today. Hopefully tomorrow will be another strong day, another day to see some more advantageous fights here at SLOLCS 2025. Yeah. I mean, this was a great time. I'm excited with how everything went. Saw some strong picks, saw some fights up in the island, and I certainly owe you a firm handshake for your tells of how Rogshots was going to be taking the trundle this game. And thank you all for enjoying today.
And we hope to see you all here at 1 o'clock, where we see Calm come back and fight against One Love. And I definitely won't be casting it, because I'll be supporting it.
Oh, that's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be a fun game.
Be a fun game. Unfortunately, I will not be here tomorrow, but I'm excited to hear of how everything is gonna go down. I hope to see you all here bright and early in the PM here to see us at SLOLCS 2025. Thank you all for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your days.